What would you do? Good job.
Hate
Good
it.
girlfriend. What?
What?
Good job. Good
Thank you.
girlfriend. Good stop.
I was saying thank you. It's polite.
During while I... Good job.
You're welcome.
I didn't know what you were doing at first, but I finally figured it out. Good job. Good girlfriend. Good life. Still feel unsatisfied. I am 27 years old. I currently live in one of the major cities in the world. I work in a high-paying job, earning roughly 120 to 160K per year. I have about 100K in savings and multiple asset investments. I am with a beautiful girlfriend who is interesting and cool. I work about 50 to 60 hours per week. I exercise regularly and eat healthy. I live with 2 close friends.
Maybe it's still working 50 to 60 hours? Damn, I don't even like working 10 hours.
Working's hard, bro.
At least for another person, I could do this all day. But this doesn't pay the bills.
No.
This guy got the bills paid and he's working 50, 60 hours and has everything.
Yeah, bro, honestly, yeah.
But he
probably,
doesn't have time to enjoy it, it seems
yeah.
like.
I don't love my job. Oh, that's probably another problem right there. But it earns well, and I'm trying to carve a new path forward into a new role I hope to find more interesting. I also plan to upskill myself more technically to build a business. Right now, I am dealing with the aspect of my job I dislike with these goals in mind. I live in a pretty crappy apartment, but I pay a small amount of rent, less than 1K. That's really good. Well, he does have roommates, so it makes sense. But
Especially if he's
still,
in a big city.
yeah. It allows me to save very well, so I'm considering buying a property if I find the perfect one and renting out one of the rooms.
Rough. Although, I guess he didn't say he lives in America, does he?
No.
I don't
No,
know
he did
how
not.
housing markets are in other like big cities, but if you were trying to find a house here, that's kind of rough because even saving up, like houses are overinflated right now.
Oh, yeah, very. Like, good luck.
But I mean, I guess if he can live this out until like maybe the housing market crashes or something.
Maybe. I mean, he could probably try getting like a first-time buyer's loan. Maybe that'll help.
True. I'm worried, especially, actually, isn't houses in the city more or are they less expensive than houses out of the city?
Houses in the city, I believe they're more, actually. Like, I think like price, like the actual like price-wise, they're less. But I think when you're paying for stuff like electric and water, I think that stuff is more. But I'm not too sure.
All right, anyways, we digress.
It allows me to save very well, so I'm considering buying a property if I find the perfect one and renting out one of the rooms, but I am happy to stay in my current flat until my lease expires a year from now. Okay, so it sounds like he's the owner of the lease then.
Oh, yeah, so if his friends left, he'd be stuck with the bill.
Yeah, he'd be screwed with that 24K apartment, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right now, I am managing to deal with the poor conditions of my flat with these goals in mind. My girlfriend is attractive, interesting. All my friends and family love her. We have been together for over 2 years. She is a year older and wants kids and married soon, but there are parts of her I am unsure. Of. I wrote a list of all I want from a person/relationship, and she covers roughly 60%. Right now, I'm continuing the relationship even though it isn't the perfect person.
Wait, was that it?
No.
Oh.
That's not it. But I do have a thought. Like, you probably need to have a conversation with your girl then.
Yeah.
Because if she's thinking about marriage and having a family, like soon, and soon is like
you don't
probably like really, really soon. You really need to talk to her.
Yeah, it's probably something to figure out so that way both of them don't waste each other's time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was more interested in the fact that I don't know what the exact question is, but by the title of the article, it sounds like he's unhappy and he's wondering why he's unhappy if he has such a good situation. And my thought comes to mind, if he came up with a list for his girlfriend of everything that has to be meet and he reached just 60% of it, does he do that with everything in his life? And maybe he sees those low numbers on everything and, it causes a sort of depression because he thinks, he doesn't actually have a good life when he could be missing the moment that he's in.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta admit, this is the deepest I got. I usually like joking.
I had a friend who was kind of like this, honestly. Like, he just seemed unsatisfied, even though, like, he has like a pretty good job. Doesn't pay 120K, but he seems to like doing it.
Mm.
He was at the time he was planning on getting married, still is, but the marriage date is coming up pretty soon, so that's good. He has an apartment that he enjoys, and is living with his fiance. So by all accounts, he should seem pretty happy.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, man, I just don't know. Like, is something missing? I'm like, no, dude, you're just dumb. Because last year you were complaining about all the stuff that you don't have and what you want, and now you literally have the stuff that you wanted a year ago.
See, right there, I think you said it in itself. People worry too much about what they don't have. I know this sounds a little cliche, but then they don't realize what they actually have. But they're also setting the standard too high because they're worrying about what they don't have. They're setting themselves to other people's standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no wonder you're unhappy. I won't lie. So when I got this house, I got it pretty young, and like early 20s, but it was foreclosed, so I got it for pretty cheap.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie. Being told of like where you should be in your life, you need to go to college, and you should be in this part in your life. And looking at other people's houses that are all nice, and mine's foreclosed, and I'm gonna have to fix it up a little bit. And my cars kept breaking down, and everybody has these nice cars.
Really makes you sad.
It made me depressed, and then I kept on working harder, and then I got more depressed because I was working so long, but didn't have like anything to show for it.
Right.
And then I came to the conclusion, like I'm glad I eventually met this point, but I met a point where I'm like, dude, I'm just worrying about what everybody else has. Where if I realize what I like my video games, I like my anime, I like my bills paid,
Sure.
I like the people who I surround myself with. I like you, I like my girl, I like my daughter. You know what I mean? Once I turned my thinking to that, I've been so much happier. And then I still have goals on top of it. I want to go to Japan, but just because I'm not in Japan right now doesn't mean I'm unhappy.
Yeah. Also, like for the girl thing, like you should probably, everyone probably has their list and what they look for in a relationship.
Oh yeah.
But you should probably take a look at your list and see if you have maybe too many things on your list.
Yeah, or like nobody's ever gonna meet that list 100%.
No,
or at least
not
that's
at
what
all.
I think. Unless if your list is like one thing, like have blonde hair. Okay, yeah, then they're gonna hit that list. But I mean, if you set like you pull out that scroll that like rolls across the floor, I mean, you're never gonna hit everything.
No, not at all.
You gotta decide like what you actually look for, and does she meet the major things? Like, hey, like I would really like somebody to enjoy playing video games with. That's the biggest thing, most important thing to me, and somebody who's loyal. Do they hit those two things?
Yeah, man. Wasn't your first date a Yu-Gi-Oh battle?
Yeah, we're not talking about it.
I'm just saying that's dope. Like you got to keep her, man.
If I remember pretty early on, we played Yu-Gi-Oh. Didn't go so well.
No. But I think you're still a keeper.
Didn't hit the same magic, but yeah.
He really hated my pendulum cards.
I'm sitting here playing old school Yu-Gi-Oh, and you're like, boom, one turn, 50 cards. What you gonna do? Like, I'm on base Yu-Gi-Oh, one card at a time. So like, I got a 1-star monster with 800. I don't think I'm gonna win.
Boom, 50 more cards. I feel as if life is often on autopilot, like it's just happening to me, as opposed to me controlling and dictating it. My question is, do many others find themselves in a position like this, or feel lost at the age of 27? My other question is, if my job doesn't fulfill me, should I stick it out and earn well with the end goal in mind, or just quit and force myself into actioning the other parts, which I think might fulfill me more? My flat is less than ideal, but should I stick it out to save well and possibly buy a property and get a mortgage if it is the perfect place? Or should I move somewhere else, live cheaper in a nicer place in a less expensive city? Should I stick with my girlfriend because no one is perfect and accept who she is even though it does not fully fulfill me and give me what I want from a relationship? Or should I break up with her and go try to find someone new. The dating world seems so bleak out there, and it scares me at the thought of regretting losing her. Any advice from someone of the same age or a little older with experience would be amazing here. I know I should be grateful for the life I've built, but part of me still feels unfulfilled. Thank you.
Dang. I mean, ultimately, I feel like only he can decide what's gonna, like, out of all those choices, what's gonna make him happy. But I know he's not alone because I know a lot of people go through that where they realize, they're working too much and they're not getting to enjoy life, and they become in this like autopilot mode day after day, and then they realize all of a sudden 2 years went by, or set amount of time went by, and you're like, I'm still doing the same thing.
Right. Honestly, like, I think he's doing better than most others. Like, I mean, he's making good money. Doesn't sound like he's fulfilled with his apartment, but he seems to have good roommates. I mean, he's close with them, so I'm assuming they're good roommates. But like what I would do in this situation, like I'd probably just try to stick it out with the job.
Yeah.
Either that or maybe like work a little bit less, like maybe turn that 50 to 60 to just a normal 40 if he can. And then just try doing what you're actually passionate about on the side and try to make something out of that. And hopefully that'll turn into a career of yours.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty smart choice. I also feel like until he knows like what he wants and like what his goals in life are, because it sounds like he's still in the discovering himself phase. So he doesn't even know what he wants and what makes him happy. I feel like until he finds that out, he won't know what his course of action is. Because not everybody's course of action is, hey, I want to, work my job and be wealthy and be set off.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we won't have nomads or, people living off grid. Some
Right.
people just want different things, and he needs to know
Exactly.
what he wants. Does he want to move to a smaller city? If he doesn't, then no, that's not the course of action. Does he like being in this city? Does he like if he doesn't want to move up? If he doesn't like his job now, he's not going to want to move up and stay with the same company, I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like with his girlfriend, like, are you guys friends? Like, are you guys hanging out? Do you guys enjoy your time hanging out? Doesn't matter if she meets the list and stuff. Like, I think set the expectations aside. Do you guys get along?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
it's important that she has the same values as you, and even sometimes probably has some different values depending on what they are, of course,
yeah,
because at the end of the day, people are going to be different, and you should have a person that wants to make you better and does make you better in some way or form.
very well said.
And then there's also the fact that, like, I like what you said, not everyone's going to make your list. And I think as long as you think she's attractive and a good person, you think she's going to be a good mother, she's not like worried that you're super rich or anything.
Well, that's
Like,
the other
'cause-
thing. If he doesn't want kids and she wants kids, I mean,
yeah,
something you got to work out.
Yeah.
Or can you guys live that way?
Can you guys like
Or,
make a compromise in some way?
We both got to know, you got to figure out what you want. She got to figure out what she wants. And if you guys both want the same thing, you guys get along, stay together.
Exactly.
But I still think that a lot of people around their late 20s are still figuring themselves out. Because at least everybody I know in my friend group is at that age, they go through this spot, including myself, where you don't know. They didn't teach us well in school. They didn't,
It's just
they didn't prepare us enough.
Go to college and then you'll make some money, and that's not freaking true anymore.
Yeah, and I think it's about this time where like everybody starts to like, who am I? What makes me happy? What do I need to do with my life? And sometimes it takes longer for some people than others, and sometimes it takes longer because people don't know they have to figure it out.
Exactly.
Somebody can't pick for them.
You want to hear some comments?
Sure.
Honestly, if my boyfriend said that I only fulfilled 60% of his desires in a relationship, I would want to break up. This isn't fair to her. You're probably going to start resenting her later on, since you're going to latch on to the 40% of things that she doesn't have until the relationship goes to crap. Stop wasting her time and set her free so she can find someone that is ready to start the next chapter of the life that she wants. Now to the main point. If you feel like your life is not being fulfilled, change what you're doing. Try to find passions and things that excite you, but don't leave your job until you're sure you have a backup plan or a way to make money because the market is crap right now.
Yeah.
Another one said, you only ever mention work. What about your hobbies, passions, etc.? You can't expect your girlfriend and your work to make you feel 100% fulfilled. No single person will ever fulfill you. That's something you need to do for yourself.
Woo!
Look at you.